what I'm observing at the moment is that there's a bit of a race going on in the industry around productivity of capital. So, how can we make capital more productive? And obviously, crypto gives money the properties of being data, which is brilliant. So, data can be split into small pieces, it can move fast, it can move globally. Um, and so this kind of race for productivity is how do we leverage these properties of crypto and make money just more productive? But typically productivity is relied on middlemen, right? To custody the capital, the assets, and then they can deploy it on your behalf. And even in crypto, this is the dominant model. But this is problematic because it introduces credit risk, it breaks self-sovereignty, and it adds friction. Like that process of getting your money to the middleman and whatnot is just a point of friction. And actually, an interesting statistic that I heard recently is that 90% of self-custody's capital is idle because it's hard to turn idle capital into productive capital when you retain self-custody and self-sovereignty. Um, so yeah, I think at Salt, really, we believe that the future of money is fast and productive and continuously risk managed. But how do we get there in a way that doesn't break self-sovereignty? And so for us, this has been our North Star. Building Salt has really been a labor of love for us. And we really want healthy portfolios that don't break self-sovereignty. So, Anton, you and I are traders. We love sophisticated yield strategies. We love portfolio rebalancing. We love liquidity, routing, automation, all that good stuff, derivatives. And we're experts in that, but most people aren't. So how can they access those kinds of strategies but maintain their self-sovereignty? And that's what I've been really excited to now be showcasing to the industry. We are now in mainnet, and yeah, we did an amazing, thank you. We did an amazing event in Amsterdam where we started to show this to some real industry leaders actually. And yeah, we're starting our roadshow and showcasing this because we do believe that this is the future of money management so that, the experts in decision making around portfolios. So that could even be AI agents one day. It was definitely, your hedge fund managers, your wealth managers, your asset managers, even your DeFi degens. These guys are good at making decisions around wealth, but how can they do that for you without breaking self-sovereignty? So that's what I'm keen to show you today.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So let's dive in. I'm going to just share my screen.
Yeah.
And what you're going to see here is our mainnet. So everything you see here is a portfolio management platform and a delegation platform for portfolio management. And actually, this is all set up for an example organization called the O'Malley Family Office. So who's in the O'Malley Family Office? Well, we have the owners of the assets and the wealth are Jamie O'Malley and his wife, Michaela O'Malley. And then what they have done is actually micro hired, is the way I like to think about it, 4 different agents to help them manage their portfolio. So we have Paros as a staking agent, and that's what I'll be demonstrating to you guys today. And you can find them at paros.xyz. And then we've got a bunch of joke names here, but some other agents to do active management for the O'Malley family office.
Tamlin, in terms of the access levels, what's the difference between the
Mm.
owner and the agent?
So the owner is able to do all the important things in portfolio management, like create accounts, assign policies to those accounts, add new collaborators, get rid of collaborators. And at the moment, I'm signed in as Jamie.
Yeah.
I've helped set this up for Jamie. I
Mhm.
am Jamie in this instance. And so Jamie, you can see, has controls where he can delete or edit somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if you were signing in as an agent, you would only see the account that you are a co-signer on. Like
Mhm.
your job is to co-sign and co-manage a particular account.
Awesome.
There are other access levels as well. And another access level you can have is like a member, which is more of if you had a team member, someone to do your back office settlements on a daily basis. They might be able to see all the accounts, but they still can't do any of
Yeah.
the really important stuff like creating accounts and setting policies.
Awesome. Cool.
Cool. Another important feature to note about the O'Malley Family Office is that they've set up what are called robo-guardians. In the SALT context, robo-guardians are essentially cloud signers. Their job is to co-sign transactions and form the threshold key material that is then required to make the transaction a valid transaction. So you can see we've got three robo-guardians here, and I'll explain a bit more about them. But they're very, very important because they are like your 24/7 risk department for you personally. And their key material is all hosted by the O'Malley Family Office. And in this case, it's hosted on AWS. And we even have made it very easy for you to access Nitro enclaves on AWS, which is very high-end security. So, yeah. So let's go look at the accounts of the O'Malley Family Office. So obviously not a lot of money in these at the moment. That's just because this is obviously a demo account. But Jamie has set up a whole bunch of different accounts here. So you've got core reserves, which might be your core wealth, some longer term growth. I'm going to click into, actually, I'll click into core reserves and show you that this is where Jamie and Michaela are the co-signers on this account. They're the ones who can propose and move money in and out of this account. And of course, they've always got their robo risk guardians there, validating what they choose to do. I'm going to actually click into the Paris staking account because this is quite exciting and cool. This is an example where Jamie set up an account and he's added this agent, this staking agent to the account. And he can turn the staking agent on and off.
Mhm.
So if he turns it off, the agent can't do anything. He can also go and set up policies on the account that control what the agent can do. And this is really important because once you turn the agent on and let them have access to the account, you want to restrict what they can do. These are the financial guardrails of the future, really. And so the Paris agent at the moment would only be able to sweep into a particular staking smart contract, or they could move funds to, this is another internal account of the O'Malley Family Office. And that's all they can do. This is the whitelist. And if you go in at the moment, because I'm signed in as Jamie, I'm able to go and edit this
Mhm.
whitelist. I could change and remove stuff. There's a whitelist, there's a blacklist, which at some point we'll be able to hook up to the, automated published blacklist by various entities if you so choose. There's a limit amount per transfer, which we haven't set yet, but you can set that. And then coming soon will be an approvals policy, which in itself could be hooked up to a smart contract. So it's really actually very, very powerful. We are always interested in hearing new policy ideas. People have requested things around, time locks or, that an entity can only access the account for 1 day per month. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things you can do. Maybe money can only be moved if the price of Bitcoin is at X amount or Ethereum's at X amount. So there's lots of flexibility that you can do with the policies. But if we go back into the account, the Paris staking account, I'm going to actually turn it on.
Mhm.
And this Paris staking account is this Paris staking bot is live and active, and it's running on um, the uh, Paros's infrastructure. They run their own bot for us. And so I know that it's running because I'm in contact with Zoe Sekel, who is the founder of Paros, and she confirmed to me it's running and it's healthy and it's all good to go.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to add some Ethereum to this account, and what we'll then get to see is the Paros bot in the background just auto sweeping it into the staking smart contract for me. And that's very powerful. Obviously, that's a very simple staking strategy, but you can imagine in the future, Paris can have much more complex staking strategies that add value to my life because I don't want to go and sweep between five different
Mm.
staking entities, or I don't want to do my restaking, or I don't want to do, staking between ecosystems and so forth. So yeah, that's that. So why don't I go ahead now and go
Emily,
sweep some
maybe
fees
just to
in?
ask a question. So
Of
when you
course.
send ETH to this
Hmm.
particular address,
Hmm.
Paros actually automatically sweeps, right? It's not that
Correct.
there is a time delay or anything, or is this something you could set a time delay or let's say daily cycles, or is it just as
Yep.
soon as it lands, it gets swept?
Well, because the Paraspot is created by a third
Hmm.
party, it's really up to them and the
Hmm.
service they provide you. What I do know is that the Paraspot is currently set to sweep. So to check the account balance every 5 minutes
Hmm.
and then sweep.
Awesome.
Now, absolutely, we could ask for it to only check once a day or yeah, or do like overnight
Yep.
sweeping and then return it back to the account in the morning. There's all sorts of iterations you can do. And Paris are actually building out that suite of staking strategies for us to all use if we so choose.
Okay. So if I understand it, Paros is now building on top of Salt all these
Correct.
interesting products and services that can relate, for instance, to staking, daily sweeping, or anything we have in mind. It's there building on top of Salt.
Exactly. And they're not the only ones, actually. There are other entities that are also building on top of Salt. So everybody has their own strategic focus. So there are some people building out, for example, your kind of delta hedging
Mm.
strategies. Yeah, so it's really cool, actually. The solution space is huge. We're speaking with people who do de weather derivatives or, real world assets. We're speaking with, folk who have launched morpho vaults and are
Mhm.
able to sweep automatically into those vaults. So yeah, it's very, very powerful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, doke. So I'm going to just stop sharing while I go and
Actually,
find
you
some
can just
Ethereum.
continue going, and then later I will edit it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Um, I'm just actually, let me do this. I'm going to go and actually move it. This is an internal organization that I've set up
Mhm.
for my team.
Mhm.
And we just have a little bit of ETH over here. And I'm one of the signers on this account, so I'm able to sweep some ETH into I forgot to grab was it O'Malley Family Office? I forgot to grab the account address. So what do I want? I want the Paris staking account. And I'm going to head over to the Shakers Family Office. And this QA faucet, as I said, has some ETH in it, but it does have a whitelist here. I've already added this
Mhm.
Paris staking account to it, or the MLA account. So I know that it's on the whitelist, it's all good to go. So I'm actually going to go and send some funds to that account. So I'm not going to send too much because I am running out. Okay, so there's been a preliminary policy check done and it all looks good to go. Okay,
Awesome.
great. So we're then just signing this transaction. Great. I'm moving through this signing process quite quickly because obviously I'm familiar with it. But we do have it all written up in our docs so you can really scrutinize and check what's going on there. Okay, so I've done my bit now. I have proposed as one of the co-signers on the account that this is a transaction I want to do. And now those robo-guardians who work for the Shakers family office are checking that what I'm trying to do passes the policy checks. And they have done that. They've co-signed it, and now they're actually broadcasting it to Ethereum.
Mhm.
So that's all. We've got the transaction confirmation here, which is brilliant. So yeah, this has all gone through. And if we want to I'm just going to show you this because it is very cool. If we go into the account, you can see that I was one of two like human
Mhm.
proposers on this account, or it could be a bot, but I'm one of two proposers. So I was able to propose. I did not need Candida to co-sign this. I just needed the guardians to co-sign it, which
Mm,
is what keeps the capital moving fast.
mhm,
And if we go into, there's a smart contract actually on Arbitrum that helps do the communication flow between myself and the other co-signers. And you can see this transaction that's just gone through 1 minute ago.
mhm,
That was me proposing it, which you saw me do, and then me signing it because I had to provide my signing key material. And then this is the Robo Guardians that co-signed it.
mm,
And then the Robo Guardians actually broadcast it to Ethereum mainnet. So this Arbitrum smart contract is what we call the orchestration smart contract. It's a smart contract specifically created when this account was created, which was 33 days ago. And its role is to coordinate the
mm.
co-signers of this account.
Understood.
But yeah, it coordinates on Arbitrum, which is what keeps the cost of the MPC
Mm,
down. And that's because that's being done by blockchain. But you can broadcast to any of the EVM chains. And at the moment, we've got 5 supported on our front end, but you can broadcast using our SDK to any of the
yeah,
EVM chains.
awesome.
Okay. So let's go back and check. Uh-oh, I hope we haven't missed it. I've been talking so much that this money should have gone into the Paris staking. Yep, so we can see there's a little bit more money in there now. And as I said, Paris checks every 5 minutes. So when we hit the 5 minute mark, what we will see are these funds swept and they're going into the corresponding staking smart contract. Unfortunately, there isn't a liquid token that we can see, but what we will do is we will watch the ether scan. Oh, 2 minutes ago, this was the money coming in, the
Mm,
0.005 ETH. And so what we will do when Paris has done their job is what we should see is you can see below, we did this 4 days ago, this deposit sweep into the corresponding smart contract. So it'll just probably be another few minutes. So do you have any questions to ask while we're waiting for that?
yeah, I wanted to ask you, in terms of the guardians, when you click
Mm,
on them, is this
mm,
also a process that's where you need, let's say, a majority of the guardians to assign, approve, or something? So how does like the guardian dynamic look like
mm.
in this orchestration?
Great question. And we're just updating our front end to make this a little more clear. On this account, you've got 2 proposers.
Mhm.
So what that means is you will have one of your robo guardians will be a guardian on the account. And we just haven't listed that robo guardian. But if you go into the robo guardian section, we'll see them here. It takes a second to load. And it's actually robo one
Mhm.
that is the co-signer on this account. And I just know that because we match them up in order. So if the account had 3 human signers, then it would be 2 robo-guardians on the account. And those robo-guardians are hosted on the O'Malley Family Office AWS, and they are both instructed to co-sign simultaneously
Mhm.
if the transaction is, compliant with the
Yeah.
policies.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but great question.
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's just refresh. I think it's probably going to be easiest to see it. Nope, we're still waiting. I think it happens every 5 minutes, so we've got 1 more minute to go. It's rather exciting.
Yes.
It's,
Can I also ask one more question about the
of
guardians?
course, of course.
So, what would happen if the Guardian is unresponsive? Let's say
Hmm.
because there is something on AWS or there is some like what's then the fallback
Mm,
scenario or is
mm.
what's the outcome then if for whatever reason the Guardian, unlike saying no, you cannot execute the transaction, but rather he's unresponsive. What's then the fallback mechanism? How does it work?
Great question. So, as I said, in this example, you've got 2 humans and 1 guardian, and the signing threshold on this is that you require 2
Mhm.
of those 3 to sign. So the when the guardians are all working and everything's going well, because this is all about automation, it's just one of the proposers and one of the guardians
Mhm.
is the typical business as usual case. But what happens if the guardians are unresponsive is that then Jamie and the other proposers can collaborate together to move funds
Mm.
because they can fulfill the
Oh,
two of three.
okay.
Yeah. Now, the Guardians, remember, are fully self-hosted by the O'Malley Family Office. So if they actually go offline and there's any problem, they have control on how to fix them. And obviously, we do a lot of, provide a lot of guides and instructions on how to essentially reboot the Guardians, make sure they're online and ready to go. You can also export. I think if you go into the settings here, we should be able to see you've got all the information that you
Mhm.
can export the Guardians to a different environment as well. So, if AWS for some reason is becoming problematic, you, Jamie, who's a Robo Guardians officer in this case, has really full control over those Robo Guardians and can move them.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, full control over the key material, over the assets is absolutely paramount to us, and we've never compromised on that at Salt.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay, let's go check.
I think it's done, yeah.
Yes, yes, it happened 29 seconds ago. We saw the sweep here is happening, has happened into the corresponding smart contract. So that's just a really cool example of, or like a taster for what the future of automated finance can be when you're able to delegate to experts and control what they can do.
Mm, awesome. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Tamlin. Maybe also one last question is, let's say I'm a proprietary trading firm or a family office and I want to get onboarded with Salt. Like, how would that the process look like? Who do we contact? Can you help us get onboarded? Can you help us set things up? How would that look like? Yeah.
Absolutely. So there is a form on our Twitter, and I will put it on our website where people can go and find us there. You can also DM me.
Mhm.
I'm at Rudolph with a PH Tamlin on Twitter, and my DMs are open. But also, one of the most powerful things about Salt is that people can self-serve. You don't need to go through a sales process. So if you go to salt.space, you can at the moment launch the testnet and play around with that, which is really useful because we airdrop you some funds and we host the Robo Guardians for you. So you can just start to get the feel of
Mhm.
how it works. You can go dig into the documentation. And then we're in closed mainnet at the moment. So once you've played around with the testnet, once you've wrapped your head around our system and you're still interested, DM me and I'll hop on a call with you and onboard you
Awesome.
to our actual closed mainnet.
Awesome. Please do that.
Cool.
Everybody who is interested, contact Tamlin or contact me or contact anybody from Salt team, and I'm sure you will have a great experience. I mean, it's very cool. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
awesome.
It's been very, very fun building it. So,
Awesome. Thanks a lot,
yeah.
Tamlin, and it was a blast.
Cool. Thanks, Anton.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye bye.